I'd like to give you a few examples of how people are prepared for persecution and suffering in China. Now, it's a very different setting than here in North America where I live now, but it will illustrate some possibilities. There, when someone is baptized, they take the pledge. They say, "I'm ready at any time and any place to suffer for the Lord. I'm ready at any time and any place to be imprisoned for the Lord. I'm ready at any time and any place to escape for the Lord." I always found that one interesting. And then, "I'm ready at any time and any place to die for the Lord." That makes it pretty clear from the moment they follow Christ in baptism that they can expect a life of persecution and suffering for His sake. They have vocabulary choices that they make. For example, they call prison seminary. So if you're in a meeting and someone asks, "Who here has been to seminary?" Everybody who raises their hand, that means they've been to prison. Okay? There are ways that they equip people in the new believer training. So for example, in some places, in some networks, in the new believer training, they'll cover things like how you interact with police if you're being arrested, ways that you can stand, ways that you talk to them, ways that you hold your hands, so that they'll put the handcuffs on as loosely as possible. And then you practice slipping handcuffs. Some groups have you practice jumping from second-story windows. So if you're ever in a meeting that gets raided by the authorities, you can escape, perhaps. They have slogans. Things like, "If you put me in prison, you have freed me to share the gospel openly. If you put me in solitary confinement, you've given me the opportunity to pray and meditate on Scripture. If you seize my home or my farm, you are freeing me to travel widely to spread the gospel. If you beat me, you're giving me the opportunity to glorify God. And if you kill me, you're sending me to glory." How do you beat that? These are just some examples of how people can be equipped for ministry. One tool that can be used almost anywhere is the preparation of a last letter. If someone is going to an area to do ministry where there's some risk of suffering for their faith, they'll write a letter ahead of time expressing their awareness of the risks and the fact that it is absolutely worth it to pay that price for the Lord because of all that He's done for them. And an expression of their love and a challenge to call forth others to come take their place if they are put in prison or if they are killed in the course of their ministry. And it's a powerful thing to hear these letters read after someone has been imprisoned or killed for their faith. So these are just some examples. In each culture, it'll look different, but that's one example of how it looks in China.